Well, we joined in 1993, so do the math. I mean, obviously we've not been here every Sunday, but a good chunk of that time. And you know, the thing of it is, having worked here, one of the benefits is that I've been able to come in here and start my mornings in here if I felt like it, or if I needed to take a break and just come sit and be quiet for a while, I could do that. It's just a holy place. It's very special to me. Well, you know, I love the windows when the sunlight is coming through. It's just, it's wonderful. I started working in February of 96. Ted Wardlaw, who was our pastor then, called and asked would I fill in, because he knew the bank that I had been working for had been bought by another bank and my job went away, and so he called and asked could I fill in until they found somebody. Well, here I am 24 years later. That was the summer of the Olympics, and so when Ted began twisting my arm to stay, I told him that if the timing were different, I would say yes, because I really wanted to spend the summer with my boys going to different Olympic events. So he said to me, do you mean if I found somebody for the summer, you'd come back in the fall? And I said, yes, Ted, I will do that. So that's when I became permanent, was in the fall. So actually the Monday or Tuesday after Labor Day. We only visited one time, and our then pastor Ted, in a sermon illustration, talked about going to the Home Depot in his Birkenstocks, and we were hooked. We just, you know, felt a kindredship. And also when I walked up the stairs for the first time, they started creaking. It was just like the stairs in our house. So I just kind of felt like, this must be it. This, you know. We had been members of North Avenue Presbyterian and never quite fit in for a number of years. And so we were really looking for a church home in which our boys could grow. So. I was the office manager, the director of administration, business administrator. What was that long one? Admin assistant for pastoral care, mission, and something else. It was a very long title. And then I think I just ended up as operations coordinator. You know, I started putting together a list, and I stopped at 128, and that doesn't include the Outreach Center or the CDC. And I'm sure there's some summer interns in there that I've forgotten the names of those folks, but yeah, a lot. Oh, I love Advent and Christmas. I love the building up to Christmas, and I love Christmas Eve. I love the children's pageant, as we call the barnyard pageant, and I love the holiness and solemnity of the candlelight service. So yeah, I just love the beginning of a new year and the anticipation. I really come to appreciate Advent since I've been here. I will always be grateful for that grounding that they received here. And youth still, to this day, are receiving that same grounding. He was the one who always resisted choir. Rachel would call every year and say, Andrew, will you join choir this year? And he would always say no. And then finally, when he got to high school, he said yes. And there was much rejoicing in the Stewart and Massengill households. And Dave actually told me that he had perfect pitch, and he does have a very nice voice. I think it was the friendships that he had developed in youth group with Andrew Osborne and Will Crossland. The three of them, the three amigos, became fast friends, and none of them went to the same high schools. You know, that's one thing about Central. It's just remained steady in who it is, which I find great comfort in. A big change, obviously, was the renovation of the sanctuary that happened in '95 and '96, because the whole chancel area was torn out and redone. Before, it had been a true, what I've been told was a preaching palace, where all of the pews surrounded the pulpit where the spoken word was center. And not that it's not now, but we opened up the chancel so that the choir had more room, the organ could be seen, and to make it a little more flexible. So that was a huge change. And learning why we needed to take the carpet out for sound purposes, and how the cushions could not be leather but needed to be pleather, so for the sound as well. And you know, when we first arrived here, this sanctuary was pretty ugly. It was all the same color. And during the renovation, the braces underneath the balcony were painted to look like wood. The columns in the back were painted to look like marble. The ceiling was painted blue, which is very close to the way it was originally. And the plaster beams were painted to look like wood. You know, I think for me at least, it's the caring for each other, the way Central cares for its congregation, and all of us Centralites caring for each other, but then also caring for the least of these. I have a great passion for people for whom there is no home. Their only place to lay their head is on the street. And it's just been gratifying to me to see what this church has done since I've been here for that community. And it has a history of helping others. Our baby clinic that was founded, I think in the 20s, was for underprivileged children. And you know, the circles of the church would raise money to buy milk for babies, and there was a little clothing store associated with the health clinic where mothers could actually come and shop for children's clothes and feel dignified about doing so. So it's that history of giving back and the continuing day to day of reaching out to those. And you know, the people fully embraced us when we got here, as evidenced by when we joined at the session meeting. Ted Wardlaw asked us if we wanted to say something, and you know, I don't like to speak in public, so I said something kind of, you know, very brief. And then he asked my children if they wanted to say anything, and Andrew said no, but Lee said, I do. And I, you know, thought, oh God, what is he going to say? But he said, when my mom told me we were coming to a new church, he said, I didn't know about that. But then when I got here, I felt like I was home. And for a 10-year-old to feel like that, you know there was something special about the place. I do have one person I'd like to lift up, and that was our custodian, Clarence Potter. Clarence was here for 100 years. We celebrated his retirement. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it was when Gary Charles was here. And Clarence was more than a custodian. He was our staff pastor. There was another custodian who kind of has a special place in my heart. His name was Zana Toa, and his wife had a baby, and I was the first person to ask Zana what the baby's name was. And he said, we've not named her. And he came back a little while later and he said, in my tradition, the first person who asks for the baby's name is who the baby's named after. So would it be okay if I named the baby after you? And I said, sure, I'd be touched. So there's another little Linda Carroll out there somewhere. I've lost touch with them, but that was very special. But I have had the pleasure and the honor of working with some of the most incredible people, talented preachers, gifted musicians, artistic folks. It's just been a real blessing to work here. I jokingly tell people I've done everything but preach, play music, and sing. That's a joke, but it's been very varied. I have filled in the kitchen when the chef didn't show up. Back in the day before we had a real music and liturgical arts committee, the drapes for our processional cross were looking rather torn and tattered. So I took it upon myself and made new ones. I have had to move folks on out of our courtyard who had begun camping there. And that was one of the really low points of my career, because I didn't want to have to move them on, but it had become a real encampment. And we couldn't let that continue to grow. One of the most precious things that I've done through the years is I received the cremains from the funeral home, and I transfer those cremains from the plastic box into our biodegradable box to be buried in the memorial garden. And that's a really holy moment for me, because I've known these people, and to be able to place them in something to go into the memorial garden, it's really, really very special. I've also been the IT department, the whole department. Yeah, a lot of things. Birdie's degree is in architecture and focusing on historic preservation, so that's always been a big part of our lives. And when we were in Washington, he worked for the Historic American Buildings Survey, and that's how we came to be in Atlanta. He was transferred here. He did some preservation consulting after he left the government. So, you know, history and preservation have always been a big part of our lives. We chose to move to Candler Park first and then to Inman Park, and lived in a 1902 house for 30-something years. So yeah, I have a great appreciation for history, and I like to know where we've been, what we're a product of. I'm also hoping in my retirement to dig more into my family history. I'm very interested in the women from whom I am descended. So I enjoy history. I've been very fortunate that church members have shared stories with me. One of our church members, who's been dead for a number of years, Iris and Jack Yarborough, Iris used to tell me when she was a little girl and it was summertime, of course they didn't have air conditioning in here, and there were fans attached to each of the braces under the balcony, and everyone would scramble to sit right under that fan. So it would behoove you to get here early so you could get a cooler spot. So stories like that have just really piqued my interest. Because we do have a lot of long-time, lifelong members in the church still. And I just love to hear their stories. And maybe one day somebody will want to hear my story. For 200 babies, Carlene Savage prepared a cross-stitch stitchery of the church, and the baby who was being baptized, name and date of birth, and the name of the church. Anyway, it was a very beautiful sampler. And then when she retired, no one picked that up. And so I decided, you know, that's something I can do. And I did about 5 of them. And the arthritis in my hands got so bad that I couldn't hold it. And the last one I did was for my grandchild, and it took me 2 years to get it done. But I finished it. And I wish that someone else could pick up that tradition, because they really are very special. Well, I love the music here. I love organ music. And whether it was Mike or Jason or now Vicki, they really crank up those big ones. I just love that. I am a sucker for organ music. And our family has always spent Easter at the beach. Rudy's family had been celebrating Easter on the beach since 1965, up until the time Hurricane Michael washed everything away, including the house. And so the first Easter after Michael, we were here, and it was absolutely glorious. The music was just over the top, preaching, I mean, everything was just, and it happened to be Jessica's first Sunday. It was our first Sunday being at Central. I take that back, there was one other Sunday way back that we were here. But I love the music, I love the choir. I love the handbells. I guess you could say I'm a music person. It's going to be interesting to see how things change with newer folks around, and I certainly hope we can keep many of the traditional things, but I'll be interested to see how it changes. And you know, I see Central staying true to who it is, who it's always been, in the heart of the city, right here across from the state capitol and the county courthouse and the city hall, but yet here among our friends who are experiencing homelessness. One that floats absolutely to the top was the day of 9/11. Some of us were in the main office area, and John White came in and said a plane had run into the World Trade Center. You know, I was thinking a little Piper Cherokee, but he said no, it was a jet. And so Clarence, our custodian, found a TV and brought it up. All we had were rabbit ears, but we stood there in horror like the rest of the world and watched what happened, and not really knowing where was going to be next, because we'd already heard about Washington. We didn't know about Pennsylvania at the time. We all gathered in the chapel, and Clarence, being the staff pastor, prayed, and it was just moving beyond words. It helped calm us down, but we still didn't feel a whole lot better about what was going on, of course. And then 2 days later, we hosted an interfaith worship service. It started out in the chapel, but it quickly outgrew that. And so we had to move it up here to the sanctuary at the last minute. And the table was not set, the communion table was not set. And so Ted says, here, take this picture and follow me. Well, I was dressed in denim. I wasn't expecting to go in front of a crowd of people. So we marched in very ceremoniously and put out the communion set and marched back. But by the time the service started, people were sitting in the windows. It was so full. And that was an incredibly powerful day. People of all faiths joining in. And we kept our chapel open at lunch for prayer for a good long while after that. We had been doing that already, but we really kept it open in earnest after that because people just really needed a place to come and pray and be quiet. Well, sort of a funny one that when we were meeting over at the shrine for worship one Sunday, it was Rudy's first Sunday ushering, by the way, this guy came in, just marched right in, dressed in fatigues, and started walking down the center aisle, just shouting and demanding that we say the Lord's Prayer. And so Kim Clayton, who was in the chancel, got up and talked with him and then began to lead us all in the Lord's Prayer. All of us were ready to hit the floor at any moment, but as soon as we said the Lord's Prayer, he turned around and left without incident. But it's funny now looking back at it, but it was awfully scary at the time. And I'm sure he thought, this is a Catholic church and there's a woman in the pulpit, you know. What's going on here? But yeah, that was another very memorable day. But there have been a lot of memorable worship experiences. There have been a lot of happy days on the staff.
Linda, I can't believe that you're retiring from your great work at Central Church. And on top of that, I can't believe that it's been 24 years that you've been there. What a difference you made over those years. You were such a cohesive force for Central's staff, family, and over a number of chapters. Your grace, your gentle leadership, your humor, your love of beauty, your resilience, and your joy. All of these attributes have combined to create such an abiding legacy. As I look back over all the years of my ministry, one of the great blessings remains the season of time in which it was my privilege to work with you. The Central congregation is absolutely right to be celebrating your witness there. And across the miles that separate us from you, Kay and Shelby and Claire and I send our greetings and our best wishes to you and Rudy and your family in the days ahead. God bless you.
Hey y'all, I'm Caroline Kelly and I served as Central's associate pastor from 2000 to 2012. So I was Linda Massengill's colleague for about half the time that she served in a variety of roles at Central. Linda and I experienced a lot and did a lot for the church while we served together, but some of my most vivid memories are not really about the work that we did for the church so much as it was the bird's eye view that we had of so much going on around us. I remember that when we found out that the new Georgia state flag without the Confederate symbol was going to be installed by helicopter, we ran out front and watched the whole thing happen before the press had even been notified. We were there when John Travolta and Tim Allen and William H. Macy rolled into the state capitol on their huge Harleys to do some advertising for their new movie, Wild Hogs. And we were also together when Barack Obama was inaugurated as president the first time. I remember we watched the big screen in the youth room, and we all had lunch together, and Linda made sure that we all had tissues because we knew we were going to cry. We also experienced a lot of growth and change during that time because of the large number of pastoral interns and resident pastors that we worked with, each of whom challenged us always to think more intentionally about why we were doing what we were doing. And they taught us how to adapt to our changing context. While Linda was there, we shared a lot of good food and wine and laughter and tears and lots and lots and lots of meetings. Linda isn't the kind to wear her emotions on her sleeve, but she trusted me with her struggles and disappointments and shared her joys just as I trusted those with her. She was my colleague and she is my friend. And I am grateful to honor you, Linda, today on your 24 years of faithful service to the Church of Jesus Christ for all you've meant to me and those whom you have served and served with all these years. Congratulations and happy retirement.
Hi, Linda. It's Sherry Wright. I have to introduce myself. You don't know who that gray-headed, short-haired person is, telling you how special it's been to have you at Central all these years. I'm so sorry we can't all be together as a church family in Tull Hall and toast you and share stories of the wonderful times at Central. What are we going to do without you, honey? I don't know. But I am so wishing you a happy retirement and hoping that you and Rudy just enjoy Colonial Homes and all the wonderful projects that you can have together there. And maybe I'll be included in some of them since I'm in the hood. Anyway, wishing you a happy retirement. We're going to miss you. Love you.
Dear Linda, how in the world can we adequately express our thanks for you in the midst of a pandemic mess? A big reception with toasts and great food, surrounded by friends in a festive mood, is what we'd really like to give to you. But alas, this year, we're not allowed to. An enormous cake is what we really want, with "Thank you, Linda" in bright, sugary font. Instead, Tull Hall sits empty and bare. Do you know how much we want to be there? But there'll be no work order for that in your folder, or us applauding shoulder to shoulder. We want to celebrate you in a way that's festive and fun. And our message to be clear, we love you a ton. You've been our constant resource. You've always been there to tell us who's who, what's what, and what's where. You've been the first one we dial, our go-to girl, when we're clueless or helpless or caught in a whirl. You've handled weird situations and an occasional fuss with patience and grace when the urge was to cuss. Will you miss the questions about the silver closet? Where's the key? Are there tablecloths, nuts, ginger ale in it? In our gladness and sadness, you've been at our side. From baptisms to funerals, a kind friend is our guide. You've watched our children grow up and us grow old, and had a prime seat watching Central's history unfold. Did you know that 24 years is 6,240 work days? But it's 7,488 if you count all the Sundays. And you've been there on Sundays. From my balcony view, I've a bird's eye view of the Massengill pew. Yes, you've been faithful to Central for a very long while, and through it all kept your laughter and your smile. We hope retirement suits you and this new freedom lends more time with your grandkids and Rudy and friends. Enjoy all your hobbies and relaxing to read with no alarm clock or calendar or schedule to heed. When our doors open again, I hope a new perk is that you'll enjoy coming to church with no thought of work. We'll see you again soon, sooner or later. In the meantime, Enjoy retirement, you Florida Gator.
Linda, thank you so much for everything you've done for Central and for me in so many different areas, whether it was helping me get into my CPC or helping us with Sign Up Genius, you name it, you were always there, always calm and always helpful. We will miss you and Rudy so much. Take care and God bless you.
Hey Linda, congratulations on your retirement. Now, I don't say go Gators just for anyone, so I'm not going to say it this time. But I will say thank you for making the year that I've been here at Central meaningful and a place of hospitality, helping me with all my questions and making sure that I fit in. Truly, you have the spirit that is inviting and of hospitality, and though we will only see you in a minimal capacity, I'm still more than thankful that you are here and having you as our resident Gator fan, even though Dave is still here. But overall, thank you for the Florida rivalry as well as just kindred spirits of warm weather. Wishing you much love and much peace in your retirement. Thank you.
Hi, Linda. I well remember that day. Seems like just yesterday when I sat down in Ted's office with you and we were interviewing you for a position at Central. And here we are 24 years later. Who knew? But I must say, having retired before you, retirement has a lot to recommend it. So congratulations from Peg and me, and enjoy your retirement. Thanks for everything.
Where is it? Whose is it? How does it work? You answered each question with nary a smirk. Can you help? I need it now. It's all due today. With unflappable calm, you never turned us away. You responded and emailed with humor and grace. You know every detail about Central's grand space. We'll be lost without you, for you've given us your best. But after 24 years, we grudgingly allow you to rest. Central's part of your life. On this point, you'll agree. So as committees come calling, you'll now work for free. With love from the Catterwalls.
Hi, Linda. Congratulations on your retirement. I am very jealous, but I'll get there one day. I'm sure. One day they'll let me go. At any rate, good luck to both of you, and I'll see you at the office occasionally, I would think. If not, here in the hood or elsewhere. Congratulations and cheers.
Linda, congratulations on your retirement. You certainly deserve it. You've done a lot of great work for Central, from the little stuff, the nitty-gritty, to the great big stuff and everything in between. I hope you have a great time in your retirement. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for being such a great friend and helping me out a lot. And we hope to see you around frequently, too. Take care. Bye-bye.
So, Linda, you're retiring. Well, I'm happy for you, but I'm sad for us. I cannot imagine going into Central Presbyterian Church on a weekday and not finding you somewhere to offer a big smile or help. And I do sincerely thank you for all the help that you have given me in a number of different ways throughout these 24 years. Enjoy your retirement, and I will see you in other venues.
Happy retirement, Linda.
Linda, we welcome you to this new and exciting adventure called retirement. It's a chance to discover some new things and to do some of those things you have been postponing for many, many years.
We love you, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful retirement experience.
As the expression goes, come on in, the water is fine.
Hey, Linda. Coming to you from the Beatty household in front of the beautiful piano that we purchased from you and Rudy many, many years ago. It has a prominent place in our living room, and every time we look at it, we think of you guys. Also, just want to let you know, Jim insisted on this attire, as we knew that you would appreciate it, since we will always have that Gamecock Gator rivalry to look back on and have great memories. Hopefully we'll beat you guys coming up this year. But just wanted to wish you many, many years of retirement bliss. Hopefully Jim and I will be joining you in the next few years, right, Jim?
Yeah.
I keep insisting that he keeps saying yes. Anyway,
Yes.
we love you and we will miss sing you, but we'll still see you at church. So you have been great and we just appreciate your friendship. All the best.
Go Cox!
All right, Linda, it's time for you to retire. You have served long and well, so well done. We've served a number of those years together, and for that I'm grateful. I will miss being able to call you and say, I need help with this. Can you show me what to do, where to find it? I'll also really miss those days when you would call my office and say, hey, Kimberly, somebody's at the back door, the front door, a guest, could you please come up and talk with them? So I will miss that happening. What I wish for you and Rudy is that you're able to kick back, and more than anything, I hope you get to enjoy some raw oysters, and I hope that one day I'll be able to sit down, have a cold beer, and raw oysters with you. Enjoy. Congratulations.
Hi, Linda and Rudy. Congratulations on your retirement, Linda. I am so happy for you, and it is well deserved. I hope that post-pandemic you have a lot of beach time in your future. It was such a joy to work with you, and it is such a joy to be your friend.
It has been an absolute pleasure working with you. You're a wonderful resource for literally everything around the church, and your understanding and patience has meant the world to me, Linda. I'm going to miss your warmth and kind energy while you're gone, but I am so happy that you'll be returning. I haven't been here long, but I know we would not survive without you. Thank you so much again for your advice and your kindness, and have a great retirement.
Linda, hi. I just wanted to send a heartfelt note of thanks for all the great support you provided me and the church over the years, and wish you all the best, you and Rudy and the family, and miss everybody there. We're settled in Fairhope, Alabama, trying to stay cool, but wish you, again, all the best, and thanks for everything. God bless you.
Linda, thank you for everything you've done over the years.
How will the church get by without you?
Hi, Linda. I wish you a very happy retirement. Although, even though I hope to see you, since you'll still be affiliated with Central as a member and as a part-time staff member, I want you to know how much we're going to miss you. You know so much. You know where everything is, how everything was done, the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, and how it might be done better. Not only that, but you have the best attitude about helping the clueless like me, who might be involved in a project and not know where anything is or how anything is done. You are patient, kind, gracious, and as I knew before I knew you as a Central staffer, but knew you only socially, you are one class act. I hope you have a very rich life in retirement and that you enjoy every single day. You have earned it, my friend. Happy retirement.
Linda, your spirit and your joy for Central Presbyterian, its mission, its members, its past and its future has been much appreciated by me as I've joined the staff this year, and I'm very grateful for your knowledge, your contagious passion, and your insight.
When I was the associate pastor at Central Presbyterian Church in the 1990s, if there was a historical question that needed to be answered, members were likely to tell us to call Dorothy Woods, the longtime church secretary. I can imagine going forward that if some institutional memory is needed, people are going to be saying, you should call Linda Massengill. She's sure to know the answer. Linda came to work when I was at Central, and we knew that when we found Linda, we had the perfect combination of skills. Linda has a tender heart. She has an inner strength and integrity. She has great organizational management, but she also has a lot of patience, and she has a great sense of humor. Linda has brought all of this to her work, to her ministry at Central for all of these years, and I've watched her pitch in wherever she was needed, lending a helping hand because Linda loves this place. Linda, it's been a great run. I wish you and Rudy a lot of happiness as you enjoy the different rhythms of life going forward.
Hi, Linda. It has been a pleasure working with you and getting to know you for the past couple of months here at Central Presbyterian Church. You have been a tremendous source of church knowledge, genuine kindness, and warm hospitality. I am also grateful for the friendship that you have shared with me ever since my very first day here at the church, and for the many ways that you have shown that you care for me and my family, and also for the whole church. You have shown your love for this great congregation throughout the years, and that bears witness to the love that you have for God and God's ministries. I celebrate with you this milestone, your retirement, and may now your free time be filled with new joy, new energy, and new dreams. May you spend this time well-deserved with the ones that you love the most. Enhorabuena, Linda, and congratulations.
Linda was one of the first people that I met at Central. I'm so appreciative of how warm and welcoming she was. She has such a joyful spirit and seems to have endless patience for all of the questions, and just her institutional knowledge of the church is amazing. One of my favorite moments with Linda was when we walked around the sanctuary when we had somebody who was taking a look at the possibility of hosting an event there. And in each location of the sanctuary, Linda was telling me these stories and could remember the year that things happened and just the people that were involved and the sentiment. And I just love those stories, and I'm going to miss those things and that time that we used to spend together when we were both at the church. But I wish Linda and Rudy a wonderful retirement, and I'm so excited for the two of you at this next stage. And I'm also really glad that Linda will be back part-time, so it's not goodbye, just the next stage, entering retirement.
Hey, Linda and Rudy, it's Mary and Tony. We're thanking you for your many years of good work at Central. Who will I call now when I can't remember my church life password? The thing we're most proud of about you is that both of you are from Marianna, Florida. Thanks for all your good work.
Hey, Linda. We're going to miss you at the church, and thank you for being a good friend and a great worshiper of our Lord. I love you and Rudy, and I can't wait to see you again soon. And thank you for everything you've done for the church and everything you've done to make the world a better place.
Hi, Linda. I'm pretty sure we met in the fall of 2009 when Steve and I were on sabbatical. I sang in the choir at Central and rang bells. We've bonded over aches and pains related to our age, our love of the beaches in our native state of Florida, and I've always appreciated your love of organ music. I hope you and Rudy have a wonderful retirement, and I'm grateful that you're not retiring completely, but are just stepping down from full-time to part-time. Much love.
Hi, Linda. It's Betsy. So you're retiring. That's great. And congratulations. So add me to the list of those thinking about you. Oh, no, thanking you. Never mind. Okay, so I put my glasses on now. You were just the best, and I really mean it. I always knew who to go to get answers to questions, get reports, or whatever. And you always listened to me. You helped me problem solve and were so patient with my lack of computer skills. Plus, we had a lot of fun working together. I will always be grateful for our friendship and look forward to many more fun times together. Linda, your contributions to Central are far-reaching, and our dear church and all of us are better because of you. Oh, by the way, how many job descriptions have you had? Now, relax, enjoy your retirement, and thank Rudy for all that he's done as well. And one more thing. Can I still call you for help? Love you bunches. Bye.
Many a night I have mulled over what I wanted to say in this video to you upon your retirement. Besides, oh boy, now we can play. But somehow that just wasn't adequate. The problem is how to compartmentalize our intertwined lives. When we met in 1982 with due dates just weeks apart, who knew that we would become chosen family? And that neighborhood meeting where we finally introduced ourselves to one another would find us spending summer vacations together at the beach house, Christmas Eves at one house or another, many a weeknight and or weekend, potluck dinner while raising kiddos, Louvier, and of course, Central. I could begin at the beginning of how Central came into our lives. Was it via Holy Smoke? Who joined first, you and Rudy or Beth? Regardless, we weren't too far behind. While at Central, we have served together in so many areas, including teaching Sunday school, the Advent event with Rudy and me teaching cookie decorating and Advent wreath making, the block party, the Taste of Two Churches cook-offs. And although when the kids were young, you were balcony sitters, and many a Sunday I'd look up there and wave, you also joined the girls' pew on occasion. But then there were those Sundays that the girls' pew became too small for our extended family because now we cover 2 pews. We've celebrated Lindsay's and Matt's wedding 10 years ago already, with y'all doing her glorious flowers. And we have baptized 3 grands, first Declan, then Aiden, and finally Lincoln, all at Central. Central's most recent gift to us was our incredible trip to Palestine and Israel. That experience left us both speechless, forever altered, and further bonded, as if February 1 and February 2 birthdays hadn't already done that. Your dedication to Central is beyond compare, and your corporate memory will be sorely missed. But your love of traditional worship and hymns has kept you there and sustained you. Central is indebted to the many hats you have worn and managed with grace. Happy retirement, dear friend.
Hey, Linda. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for the service and the commitment that you've given to Central Church over many, many years. I know that if this were normal times, there would be a sanctuary full of thunderous applause in your honor.
Hi, Linda. I'm happy to wish you well on the occasion of your retirement from Central Presbyterian Church. I am personally grateful for your good and faithful work over these past 24 years and want to just say thank you for that. You were always willing to help whenever I had a request or a particular need or needed some information. And if you didn't know it right then, you would seek the information and be back in touch. And for that, I'm really grateful. I've reflected on your 24 years and thought about the fact that I was only one of many making requests. And through the years, you have worked with a variety of other colleagues, 3 pastors, several associates, interim pastors, Christian educators, and through it all, I have known you to be a person of deep commitment to your work and to those that you have worked with through the years. And so for that, I'm grateful and thankful, and know that you will be missed in your official capacity greatly. So I wish you and Rudy well and on the occasion of your retirement as you go forward in this new adventure. And look forward to the opportunity to see you in the pew post-pandemic. So best wishes, love, and...
I'm Debbie Miller. Linda Massengill and I share a unique experience. We're both members of Central. We both worked at Central, and we were moms who raised our children at Central. Those children are now in their 30s. I remember the day Linda was hired in '96. The staff was so excited about her organizational and sharp administrative skills. Little did we know of those hidden talents that she would bring to her work for 24 years. Linda adapted to endless changes in her job position at Central. She always did that with a graciousness and a smile. She became the rock of the staff. She was unflappable. Linda's commitment to her job and to Central, it became a ministry. She loves the members of Central. I think she is now the go-to person for all of us. Linda's work at Central was a place where I believe Linda lived out her values and who she really is. We'll miss Linda, but now we know that she will use her gifts to share with all those who love her and all those that Linda loved. We'll miss you, Linda.
Linda, I just read in one of the emails I received from Central that you've been on our staff for 24 years. All I can say is that means I must be getting really old. I can remember your days at Bank South with our mutual friend and mentor, Rod Cook. And if my memory serves me well, I seem to recall that you agreed to join the staff at Central, thinking it would be fun to do for a while. I guess it has been a while. You and Rudy have been there for the baptism of all 4 of our children, as well as the graduations from high school and college. You've been a constant in an ever-changing world, and I really appreciate all the time, effort, and love you've given to your job and our church. Blessings. Pax vobiscum.
Congratulations, Linda, on your retirement and a career well done. I am struggling a bit to figure out what to say in this video. I have known you and Rudy since 1978. How do I separate out 42 years of friendship from the 24 years you have worked at Central? It's just life. That's not to say, however, that there weren't some Central-centric things that we did over these 24 years. I remember the first Sunday you visited Central. You came with me, and I'd only been coming a few weeks. I'm not even sure if I was a member yet. But Ted's and Kim's sermons had reeled me in, and I suspect they would you and Rudy, too. During one of my times on session, I was chair of the administration committee, and in one of your hats, I don't know, maybe you were the director of business administration or something like that. You were a godsend when it came time to put together the administration committee's budget. You were the only one who knew what it took and how much it cost to run things at Central. So, good luck, David Wooten. I will always cherish the opportunities that I had to get to know Andrew and Lee better. First as their session sponsor for the confirmation process, and then as one of the chaperones on the 1999 youth mission trip to Costa Rica. And when Andrew and Lee left and Rudy joined the choir, it was great to have you join Becky and me and Judy and Leslie and Betty in the girls' pew on Sunday mornings. All right, I also remember that you and Becky helped one time with Holy Smoke. I will never forget Ted's chili, the kind of chili they served in heaven, Kim's chocolate decadence, and Daddy Bill's Brunswick stew. Oh my gosh, my mouth waters to think of these. And then there was the dinner club at the Valentine's Day fundraising dinner. How wonderful it was for the dinner club not to have to cook. Chef Lo did that for us, to have somebody else wait on us, the choir, and all we had to do was set the table and enjoy ourselves. And I also recall that you and Becky and I went to Montreat at least one time together, and we stayed in the girls' dorm with Betty and Judy and Leslie and I think Beattie Campbell and several other women. I'm not sure who it was, but what a great time we had at that. I'm probably missing some things. But like I said, how do I separate out 42 years of friendship from your 24? I mean, we are, you, me, and Becky, sisters after all. So, Linda, again, congratulations on your retirement. Oh yes, and go Gators.
Linda, congratulations. I could not be happier for you. Although I'm trying to hold back a few tears as I record this because you have been an invaluable part of my first 18 months at Central, and I will miss you sorely, though I know that you promised to stick around for a few hours a week to help us get our feet underneath us. When I came to Central, there was so much that I didn't know that I needed to learn. There still is. The kind of way that a pastor needs to know a congregation in order to love them well is hard won and takes a knowledge that is developed over years and years. And the gift that you brought me in particular these past 18 years was your willingness to lend 2.5 decades of work and life at Central to help me know and love this congregation. Yeah, you know where all the files are, you know what's in every closet, you know what's behind every door, where Central might even hang its dirty laundry. But you also know where all of our loved ones are buried and whose children were baptized in the sanctuary, where the adult children of our church have moved and how to find them and how to be in touch with them, who's best friends with who used to work there, who stood in the hallway on their most difficult day, and who showed up to help. You know so much about our congregation, and that knowing leads you to an obvious love for Central. And I'm grateful every day that you've been willing to lend that knowledge and that love with me. In many ways, when someone retires from a church and a pastor or a head of staff gets to celebrate them, I only know a short glimpse of your work life at Central. And I'm so glad that a couple of your other colleagues have joined in to celebrate you, because we are thanking you and celebrating you for not just your work in the last 18 months, not even just your work at Central, but your work also in the corporate sphere, your work elsewhere, the ways that you've contributed to the colleagues that you worked with 35 years ago. And I trust and I know that you brought them every bit as much joy and care and compassion that you've brought us. And so for a lifetime of service and leadership and love, thank you. On behalf of all that you have served and worked with, thank you and congratulations.